Dungeons and Dragons.
Your dungeon master has placed you in a dreadfully precarious position.
D&D is a tabletop RPG. It involves players and a DM who acts out all of the NPCs like monsters and shopkeepers, while telling the storyline and generally keeping the game under control. Each player in a campaign takes on the persona of a unique character with various abilities and moves, depending on factors such as race, class, and alignment. I am currently in a campaign as a halfling rogue named Wendy. I'm very sneaky, good at acrobatics and stealing things, and I deal a lot of damage by getting stabby with my daggers. Players use their imaginations to decide how they will react to different encounters, talking things through with the other characters, exploring the space outlined by the DM, fighting and performing all kinds of interesting actions. Once a player is ready to commit to an action, success or failure is often determined by rolling a die. Note the 20-sided die. What are the odds? The game was designed by Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax, considered by many to be the fathers of role-playing games. Heavily inspired by rules and references instilled by Jeff Perrin, which were later adapted into the medieval miniature wargame Chainmail, D&D was first published in 1974 by Tactical Studies Rules, and set the standard for role-playing games in general. The thematic style was greatly inspired by fantasy writers like J.R.R. Tolkien. The game first became popular with college and high school kids and sold about 1,000 sets in the first year, with sales increasing throughout the 70s. In 1977, an advanced version of D&D was released that offered new possibilities for players who had exhausted or felt limited by the standard game. This offered more expansive framework and structure in which to expand the experience, but also caused a divide between the community. In 1997, TSR Nearly Bankrupt was purchased by Wizards of the Coast, the publishing company known for Magic the Gathering and later the Pokémon trading card game. They published the 3rd edition of D&D in 2000, 3.5 in 2003, and the 4th edition in 2008, which controversially streamlined the game into a very simple format, even restructuring character abilities. Yet 40 years after its initial release, D&D remains a cult favorite, having earned over $1 billion in book and equipment sales with over 20 million players worldwide. Often the subject of geek adoration and humour, there have been many references to Dungeons and Dragons in other media. From E.T. to Futurama, Freaks and Geeks, and more recently Community. The game has even spawned movies, an animated series, magazines, books, toys, comics, and many video games. Contrary to the long list of D&D related controversies, including many accusations that the game instigates depression, antisocial and immoral behaviour. Playing Dungeons & Dragons is also known to be awesome. Sadly, in 2008, Gary Gygax passed away from aorta complications at the age of 69, and Dave Arneson passed away from cancer a year later at the age of 62. The two men spent their lives greatly involved in the world of role-playing, contributing to communities, sharing their knowledge, and just simply enjoying games. So, on your travels, always remember, roll for perception, open doors and chests slowly, and if you see a dragon, run.